Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. I've got another update for you here today, and I'm sharing with you about January 3rd, 2020 as the end of Daniel's 70 years, and a 21-day battle continuing on to the 24th day of the first month. Now, here is understanding about the calendars and why we are looking at the Gregorian calendar as understanding for what Daniel was sharing. And I think that the reason is that Daniel was in Babylon, okay? Daniel was in Babylon, and this was the calendar that Daniel was using, the Babylonian calendar. Okay, so this is our link from the Hebrew to the Gregorian calendar. Okay, I was thinking about that, and we know that the spirit of Antichrist changes the times and the laws, and the calendars have all been messed with, and going from the Julian and the Gregorian and the Hebrew and the Torah, and how do we know what calendar to watch? So that's why we're watching, we're trying to watch all the calendars and trying to understand based on all the signs. Well, anyway, that's not the purpose of this video, but that's just a side note on why we would be connecting Daniel's prophecy to the Gregorian calendar. I believe it's based on the fact that Daniel was in Babylon. So we're watching January 3rd, which is 6 Tevet on the Hebrew calendar, the 70-year anniversary from their first cabinet meeting on December 26, 1949, which was 6 Tevet 5710. I've shared about this in my previous two videos. I will leave the links for you in order of the videos as I am sharing them in the description box. So you will see part 1 there and part 2 on January 24th, 2020. So we're watching January 3rd, and then we're watching a 21-day delay to January 24th, 2020. Now I wanted to share with you, this has been brought to my attention, and I believe this is an amazing piece of information right here. Amazing. Dimitri Dudaman was a prophet to America from Russia, and he has a list of dreams and visions on his website. I will also leave this information with you in the description box so that you can see his website and see where I got this information from. But if we go to all of his dreams and visions, we will see that he had two visions in 1994, okay, that coincide with the exact dates of what I'm sharing, okay? I'm sharing with you about January 3rd and January 24th. On his website, he's got two visions that he received in 1994 in order, okay? After his vision on January 3rd, 1994, there was not another vision until January 24th. Listen to the titles of these two messages he received. January 3rd, 1994, Fire in the Heavens. January 24th, 1994, the Savior returns as judge. Okay, now, 1994 to 2020 is 26 years. Amazing that 26 is also the value of Yahweh. 26. Okay, so 1994, January 3rd, January 24th, 26 years, the value of Yahweh is Yahweh revealing himself through the visions of Dimitri Dudaman. And now it's connecting exactly with what I am seeing based on the true end of Daniel's 70 years plus a 21-day delay. to January 24th, 2020, 26 years to the day. Now let's take a look at the two messages. And I want to read these together with you and just share what these messages are, what they mean, and what they're saying. January 3rd, 1994. It was past midnight. Unable to sleep, I got on my knees and began to pray. I do not know how long I prayed, but suddenly I began to see a great fire in the heavens. It was so powerful that to me it seemed like the sky was burning. Then a man dressed in shiny clothes stepped out of the fire. On his head, he had a helmet. In his right hand, he had a sword, out of which flames of fire kept erupting. In his left hand, he had a trumpet into which he began to blow. The sounds that the trumpet made were actually words which were uttered in many different languages. I did not understand what they were saying, but I caught some Hebrew words and also some English words. When I was straining to understand and troubling myself over what the voice had said, I heard it speak in Romanian. This is the last warning. The trumpet blew. The day of God's vengeance is coming upon the earth and upon this place. Be prepared and be holy, my people, that I may save you. After these words, arrows of fire began to dance on the sky. They were so powerful that I became scared. Beginning to pray again, I saw the same thing all over. Then, while still praying, the same thing was shown to me a third time. So this vision he received on January 3rd, 1994, he received this same vision 3 times. The Savior returns as judge January 24th, 1994. It was 7 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. I still felt a little tired, so I stayed in bed longer to rest. Then I fell asleep and dreamed that I was in an American church service when the building began to move violently because they did not know what was happening. The people inside panicked and quickly began to run out. I succeeded in walking out also, but with every step I tried to take, it seemed like I was sinking into the ground. I began to look around to find something to support myself with so I could walk. I heard a voice that said, "Look up and see the heavens." I looked up. As far as the eye could see, all the sky was blood red. I said, "Lord, what does this mean? Why is the sky red?" Then I remembered my father telling me that before the Great War, the sky turned blood red. As I stood looking toward the sky, a cloud suddenly appeared. 3 men came out of the cloud. The middle one was dressed in shiny clothes and was of very great stature. He shined so brightly that I could not look at him. The other 2, one on his right and one on his left, were prepared for war. They had weapons in their hands that were pointed toward the inhabitants of the earth. Trembling, I asked, "Lord, what am I seeing? What does all this mean?" When the one in the middle spoke in a thunderous voice, all those around me were able to see him. "I am Jesus Christ, who gave my life for you. Many of those whom I gave my life for today dishonor me, living in sin and things that are wrong. The honor and glory I deserve is not given to me. For this I have no more mercy, but will soon return in glory and honor as judge, to judge all the inhabitants of earth. But first I will judge those that carry the name of Christians, yet have tried to deceive me. Because of them my name was and is dishonored and blasphemed before those that do not know me. And about you," he said to me, "be awake. Be on guard more than ever, for you will go through many trials. Now the battle will begin to get harder. The devil is ready to begin war against the Christians, and I have allowed this." Then the two men beside him began to fire their weapons. A salvo of fire came out, lighting the sky, and it began to burn. The one who shone brightly stood in the midst of the flames, crying out with a loud voice, "Do not fear. All those who worshipped me and have lived a clean life, those that suffered here on earth, will have joy. For I am the one who will judge all of the nationalities of the earth. I will spare no one, and will not have mercy or grace for anyone. The day when I will punish and condemn is coming. I tell these things for everyone to hear. Hard days of suffering are coming to this place and over the whole earth. The hardships will be so great that the minds of men will not be able to understand it. It will be so hard that men will kill themselves. I will judge through torment, pain, and suffering, and will take revenge with great harshness for all sin. The Father has allowed me to avenge my spilled blood." The other two began to fire their weapons again, but this time a blue flame came out. I fell with my face to the ground. The one in the middle yelled, "Get up. I want to show you the judgment of the people and the wicked." But the hardest judgment will be received by the church, because they knew my word and my power, but many of them dishonored me, giving into defilement, adulteries, wickedness, and dishonored my name before men who did not know me. For this I am filled with rage, and I have been given the authority to take revenge against the inhabitants of the earth, those who have dishonored me. The two that stood at either side of him began to fire again. A heavenly choir appeared and began to sing a song in the most beautiful splendor. Jesus is alive. Jesus lives. Jesus is alive. Jesus reigns. Jesus is coming in glory. Jesus is no longer Savior, but returns as judge. I began to cry. I cried with tears of joy. I was in an atmosphere of incredible beauty. The choir continued to sing as the two men with the weapons introduced themselves. The one on the right said, "I am the head of the Lord's armies, Gabriel." The one on the left said, "I am Michael, the leader of the Lord's armies. We are at the Lamb's command, and wherever the Lamb goes, we accompany him." The choir continued to sing, and everything began to fade. I woke up with the words, "Jesus is no longer coming as a Savior, but as a judge." The 70 years of Daniel and January 3rd, 2020. Daniel 10 continues with a 21-day battle to the 24th day of the first month, January 24th, 2020. The same 2 days that are in Dimitri Dudaman's visions. 26 years to the day. Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh is revealing his return. I pray you are blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.